Who wants to do a chest run? Does anybody want either of these items? This 570 sword or this glove thing? Same with these here, like this one or the gloves with luck. Like that's it. I don't want to show them what I got. It's embarrassing. Okay. Let's do the chest run. The earring is shit. Well, the problem is that... Okay, so here's what the problem is. So... $500 to $600 will take about 400 drops. Assuming 1 in every 4 items is a watermark upgrade. Assuming that the first probably 40 watermarks are easy and the last 40 marks are hard. So here's what the problem is. Armor is really easy to get to 600. And now you have weapons. Now, because there's less weapons, you have accessories. I don't know how to spell accessories. Bling. Okay. So, basically, for every... $50 armor you get 15 weapons, and you get 1 bling / drip. So guess which one takes longer to watermark? You understand? Like, because of the way the system is designed, the armor in the game watermarks literally 30 to 50 times faster than the accessories do. So here's what the problem is that crafting all of these are equal. It just depends on whichever one you want to prog on. So crafting these is going to be way more profitable than crafting armor, generally. It's fucking nuts. And it's not even about profitable. It's about like if you see somebody and they have jewelry on, the odds of that jewelry being crafted is like 95%. And if you have someone with weapons on, the odds of those weapons being crafted is like 5%. Okay, can't you just ignore all this and just buy the good item at the market? Yeah, I mean, I can ignore even that. I just don't play the game. I can ignore the whole thing. Like, it's easy. Okay, guys. We're gonna begin the Asmongold chest run. I know everybody's been really excited for this, and people have really wanted to do it. And I know you guys have just been so excited to do the Asmongold chest run. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna meet up over in front of Windsward. We're gonna meet up in front of Windsward, and we're gonna go around and loot all the chests. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. Alright, let's go. If we can't get enough people, I'm just gonna go on to Reddit and read the people that are complaining about the game's posts. We need to get at least 25 people. Let me look right now. Actually, I'll do it right now. Alright. Steam reviews have reached mixed. Yeah. It took 21 minutes to kill a Hellmouth door at Scorpius. That's a level 50 area. Damn, that's crazy. Got a Lazarus, you wanna run it? No, I'm done doing Lazarus today. This patch should have been an opportunity to... How many people do we have now? We have 2 people. No, that's not looking too good, guys. We're meeting up over here at Windsward. If anybody wants to come do the chest run. We have to get 25 people. Opportunity to regain trust and rebuild excitement in addition to a new weapon, and instead you turned it into something shitty with a bunch of stealth nerfs to progression to increase the time sink. These nerfs could have been announced days in advance with the PTR like crafting was, as I'm sure they were planned. But Amazon Game Studio was so afraid of blowback that they chose the worst possible option of springing it on everyone instead. For a player base that is already overwhelmingly negative and critical of everything they do. What an absolute debacle. I sincerely hope a lesson is learned from the reception over the next few days, or you're in for a very bumpy ride. Please try to at least get server merges out the door before your next go at fucking with the game solely for the sake of monthly active user statistics. People hitting 590 watermark too quickly should be the least of your concerns right now. But if you're gonna do shit like this, you should at least be upfront about it. Coincidentally, my company went to Merkgard tonight in a 10 to 15 man group, spent 6 minutes fighting one tactician and mage, saw how badly elite chests had been nerfed, and logged out halfway through to play League of Legends. These are people mostly at watermark max, with thousands of hours in the game collectively. It's not like they're casual. They were excited about tuning orb changes, and by the end of the night, nobody was even talking about New World anymore. That was me, not you. I defended the game against a lot of the misinformation and the hyperbole that's popular on the sub, but this change was a clear fuck up and a step in the wrong direction. I'm glad to see people that were playing PR for Amazon probably getting paid as much as some of the workers are. Nothing. I'm glad to see them waking up. So at Reek Mother, every mob had 3 times the health points that it previously had. We got through it in an hour and a half. Damn, that's crazy. You gonna play Season of Mastery with other streamers? What other streamers are playing Season of Mastery? I feel like there's almost nobody. We've only got 5 people here doing the chest run, guys. Come on. May I suggest don't play day? I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are taking don't play days, but not on purpose. It's not going to be like a big, a planned out thing. It's just going to happen. It's dog shit now? No, I don't mean from the elite chest runs, man. Yeah, fuck the elite chests. Like, we're getting furniture and trophies. I don't give a fuck about that other stuff. A day off New World. That's good. I was wrong. What were you wrong about? I fought you all, well many. This is a great game. It has so much potential. They wouldn't just abandon it. Today was the first day I didn't even want to log in. No desire. They shit on the game in every way possible because it was released a year too early. Farming zones are worst. The skill gap has been completely removed for Great Axe and Great Hammer ability spam. Skill leveling is a joke. In-game is a joke. What do I do today? Get my watermark up by 2 by killing the same 3 bosses or play a broken PvP mode that was supposedly developed first. I have to look down at my stamina 80 times in a fight because my dodge roll rarely works. Oh, I'm out of stamina? No, that's just a dumb bug in the game preventing me from dodging and doing the most basic elements of weapon switching and drinking a potion. Then I have to take my earring off to instantly reapply them. So the perks, oh that's right, I have to do the same thing. My character died too. Okay. Seems like they had a grasp on things and making it progressively better, and it's just getting worse. I hate to be negative about this game because I still believe it can be beyond amazing. And I hate complaint about dumb things, but this update gives me no desire to play anymore. See, this is the problem that these people have, is that they think that they're complaining, he doesn't like complaints about dumb things, but those dumb things were the mining canaries for the reason why you don't want to play the game right now. Like those stupid things that you thought were just like, oh, who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter? Like, it's just little things, right? those are the things that people were upset about, because they knew that if the game was having these problems, that it's going to have these problems right here that you're talking about in your post. These are legitimate concerns. He's on copium. Yeah, he is. You just no. Most of the people that are saying how good the game is and everything don't play it. Like, they're like level 60 and their watermark is 550. They have no idea what they're doing. Does matter, it's all connected. Yeah, I know. There's not a lot of people for chest runs today. Fuck, maybe it's too late at night. What do you mean? I'm a father of 12 with 3 jobs. I just at level 13 and I'm having the time of my life. You guys are just a bunch of tryhards with no life. I'm so glad that people are finally coming around. I'm so glad. It took me a while, man. It really did. Sub took a complete 180. Yeah, because what took me a week to get to, it took them a month. And then the stuff that I was complaining about on week 1 and in the beta, they didn't even know was in the game. And they didn't understand it. And now they have to deal with it. They're at the same place that I was like last month. And they're saying the same thing that I said. From New World Community Manager. We just launched our first PTR. We're working to incorporate it as a tool into our development process. We're learning how to use and produce the best possible outcomes for everyone. So the feedback we receive is helpful. But yeah, generally game studios don't put everything they work on in a PTR. We will not always put all content or features on PTR. That's not true. Like WoW pretty much puts everything on the PTR, minus like maybe mythic raids or something like that. And PUBG used to do the same thing whenever they'd bring out a new map. Let's see, what other PTRs do I have downloaded? Do I have another PTR downloaded? No, I don't, unfortunately. I can't give any other examples. Mythic raids are on the PTR? Yeah, true. The PTR was released too close to the scheduled release for much of the feedback to be implemented in that build, which was the player expectations. We will not always put all content or features on PTR, so please don't expect that moving forward. We will use the PTR to test a thing, but it may not be all things. I will continue to expect this, even if you say not to. And every time that this happens, I'll get mad. Your post that says, alright, let's just go, guys. Let's just go. I'm only going to do probably Reek Water and like one other zone, then I got to go to sleep. Anyway, so it's perhaps the most complex game ever made. Patience. Why do you think it's so complex? Like I'm sure like, so like what about like the, well I mean the watermark system is just apparently lifted straight off of Destiny. I mean like, the thing is like nobody wants like, a lot of the parts of the game that's complex people don't even like. So like maybe the problem is the fact that people think it's the most complex game in history. Will you type that shit out? Yeah, some people, man. So anyway, complex equals bad coding, I know. So, anyway, what was I even saying before I got derailed there? Oh yeah. If you're gonna go and, you're gonna withhold the changes that, it's like, I'm not, like, I'm not stupid. Like, I don't think any of us are, like, really stupid if we're sitting here playing MMOs all day, right? Maybe we are for doing it. But I think a lot of people that play MMOs are just, like, I mean, we're not, like, really, really dumb guys or anything. We just want to play the game. And whenever we hear that you're not going to put a change on the PTR, I think everybody knows why that is. It's that you want to have all the hype for a new patch. You want to capitalize on the excitement for a new patch. But you don't want to have any of the criticism for decisions that you're making that are bad for the player base. So that's why they don't do it. It's pretty easy to understand. Almost all of the negative things were undocumented. Almost all of the positive things were documented. What more is there to say? I mean, come on. I think we're dumb. Yeah, I guess so. There's one over here, might as well loot it. Oh, fuck. Shouldn't have PvP on for better luck. Why? So I can have the 5 most annoying people on the server try to kill me? Fuck no, I don't want to do that. Your army? I mean, there's no army like... The reward for killing me is way better than the reward for protecting me. So you're gonna have more people that are gonna try to kill me and I'm gonna lose, and it's just gonna be a waste of my fucking time. Like... John Smedley's son is a game designer at Amazon working on a New World project. No wonder the game is shit. I don't give a fuck about what the guy's name is. I don't care. Or like what his dad did or some kind of fucking bullshit. Like, who gives a fuck? I care if it sucks. Like, I don't care like who it is. Your son's making a game. Well, I mean, like, what he's saying is like, the guy's dad is a moron, and he's a fucking moron. His son's a moron, and his son's working on New World, right? Like, I get what he's saying. It's just that there's not a lot of fucking... There's not a lot of substance there, other than it's just kind of funny, right? That's about it. Kill the gear if you want to use it against other players. Yeah, I thought about doing some PvP maybe. It could be fun. So yeah, anyway, what was I saying before? Fuck, I forgot. Does everybody put on your ice? Oh, actually, no, it doesn't work because we can't stack AoEs anymore. That's right, never mind. Oh, this is like a really good mechanic here. They just walk towards you slowly, backpedaling, doing an ability that does damage to you while makes them immune to damage. What the fuck? Oh my god. So yeah, anyway, they use the PTR for marketing. That's all the PTR is there for. It's not really for testing. And also, like, New World should have, like, it's like they should have a certain degree of, I don't know, like, what the word is, this, humility. Is that everything that they didn't test extensively in the beta has been a complete disaster. Like, the moment that the experience on live servers deviated from what was occurring on the beta was the moment that the game completely went into the garbage. And what I mean by that is that the first 2 weeks of the game played relatively well. And the reason why it played so well is because Amazon had a, they had 2 playtests with a massive population. First 2 weeks for Monster Gaming, yeah, it was good. And then after that, things fell apart. That's why, you know, like, and you guys remember, if you go back, and I'm sure there's VOD somewhere of my my New World streams on the beta, and I said a lot of these problems were gonna happen, like things like what do you call it? Like resource deflation. I didn't really think about the gold deflation. I don't think I ever brought that one up. And I never really talked about property taxes either. But, you know, like just general, like the content issues, like I brought up a number of these issues. And everybody said I was an idiot. Should have known not to trust a game where you walk underwater. Oh fuck. Yeah, chat about the new store for a while. Store things are usually taken from the next expansion. I don't know, man. I mean, if you want me to be totally honest, like, I don't really give a fuck. If Blizzard wants to exhume every last penny out of its game by devaluing every accomplishment that players have by just adding in microtransactions, or not even microtransactions, I mean, the 6-month sub thing costs more than another video game. I mean, like, at what point is this not a microtransaction anymore? I don't know. But, anyway, so this has been like an issue for a while, and, it's just like, it's such a it's a dead issue, man. The thing is that, like, here's the reason why, like, I don't think given up is not really the right term to use. I am just simply, I am over it. I think everybody who, if you can't see now, then you never will. And you don't want to either. That's all there is to it. These are people that are intentionally not they're intentionally not seeing something, right? They're willfully ignorant. These are people who just want to mindlessly consume, and anything that brings awareness to that problem will just make them mad. Because they think that they think they're in this together with the developers. Or some kind of like weird stupid thing. Well, Blizzard just went back to making good games. I mean, just make Diablo 4 good, make Overwatch 2 good, and everybody will be happy. Like, make the new patch, the new expansion for WoW good, it'll be whatever. Nobody's gonna give a fuck about Bobby Kotick anymore. Like, that's all there is to it. Make good games and nobody's gonna care about any of that drama. That's just the truth. Like, nobody gives a fuck about any of that stuff if the game is good. Like, all these things are just like, it's like it's all icing on the cake. Users never gonna finish the story. As I said, I think that the people that are writing the direction of the WoW war really don't know what they're doing. Like, I actually just think that they don't really know how to tell a good story. Like, it's not like anything any more complicated than that. Skip the chest? No, I didn't. Empty promise? The fuck is that? They used to? Yeah, some of the WoW stories used to be good. They know a story, but they won't tell us. You find out later on in a book in a random cavern. Yeah, I think that's just, man, I'm so like, how does that even happen? I really don't even understand how that even happens. I like the storyline for Shadowlands. Actually, I just hate how long it took to get through it, and Renown is keeping me from going in there. I think that some of the points, like the Shadowlands story is not... I think that, in my opinion, Zereth Mortis, right, which is like, what does Zereth Mortis mean? What are two English words that are very close to this? Zenith and mortality. This is very clearly the pinnacle of mortality. This is where mortality is created. And Anyway, that's yeah, peak mortality, exactly. Death's origin, in a way. So, in my opinion, I think adding a zone into the game like Zackrawrr Mortis is jumping the shark. It's just... It's completely jumping the shark. It's impossible to understand. It creates more questions than it answers. It's only as far as we know. Yeah, it's just that's also like... It's also stupid. Making new afterlives is fucking awkward, man. Yeah, it's just stupid. So the reason why things like that are stupid is that there's always the question of what exists outside of the what do you call it? What exists outside of what's being controlled by this machine? You know, it's like, okay, you know, who made the Eternals? And it's like, that's like the Denathrius and Zoval, right? Well, it's like, oh, the first ones did. Well, it's like, okay, well, who made the first ones? And it's the same as like even like the reality itself is that you have like the obvious question that whenever you're talking about something like remaking the world or something like god damn it, is anything like that, like, okay, so you have like the this is like the normal death sequence in Azeroth. Well, what about the death sequence outside of the scope of Zackrawrr Mortis? Because clearly that has to exist. Some questions are better left unanswered. You're right. But the problem is, if you ask the first half of the question, everybody's going to wonder about the second half. Imagine if the water that you walk on was murky and every now and then you see something lurking below the water. Would actually be cool. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Wait, where are we supposed to... Wait, oh fuck, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, guys. You have drops enabled? Yeah, apparently I do. You don't think it's a scam they cut 9.3? No, it's not a scam at all. I mean, the thing is, BFA took too long to tell the story. In my opinion, I think the whole battle for Zackrawrr lore didn't really need to happen. We could have just pretty much skipped that and just gone directly into Crucible. Why? It just didn't progress the story or advance anything. Like, what happened? Rosticon died? Who cares? The fights were good at least? Oh yeah, the raid was really good. I heard a lot of really positive things about Mythic. I didn't Mythic raid that tier, so I don't know, but that's what I heard. Yeah, I mean... I don't know. It's like, in a way, I wish that they would do a... like a super reset, where they just reset everything in the game. They reset you know, just all the, like, everything. So a new game. Well, I think whenever people say a new game, yeah, I'm pretty much a new game, yeah. I think in, like, my actual opinion, I guess, is that I think retail WoW is, like, it's so convoluted and fucked up that what Blizzard should really think about doing is taking this Season of Mastery idea they had and making it a bigger thing. Like, taking Season of Mastery and then making Season of Mastery like an entirely new game, and then just developing that game just throughout time, right? And just making that game better in general. And I think that they should develop it from Classic. There are a lot of things that the game has that I think are just generally good things. Like, I know this sounds like crazy, but I like 40-man raids. I think they're cool. I like the idea of getting 40 people together and doing a raid. And the problem with that, though, is, like, you can never have 40-man raids and actually have, like, challenging content. Because, like, it's, like, zero fun whenever you do a raid and 39 other people there are ready to go and, you know, trying their best, and one person lags out. You know, it's not even their fault. They just get a lag spike on their computer, or they disconnect, and, you know, a mechanic goes on them and they die. And it, like, just fucks everybody else over, like on Thaddeus or Baron Geddon or something like that. Or Vale. Burning Adrenaline. Very hard to just find 20 people, not 40. See, the reason why Mythic is so hard to find people for is because, number one, nobody cares to do it. Number two, it's ridiculously fucking hard, and it's so hard that it's not fun to play. 3, you have to have a bunch of add-ons in order to do it at all. That's what a lot of people feel like. Especially with a lot of these groups, they'll use, like, these different add-ons to set up assignments and things like that. So there's all of these artificial barriers to entry that Mythic has that are created by players. Goes to run BA and Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, that's the thing that gives you, like, the one mount, right? Is you stop phasing? Yeah, I think that also what Blizzard should do, like, for the next raid is just completely get rid of server rating, server specific rating. Get rid of it on day one. Just delete it. Make it to where you can raid with anybody on any faction, like Horde or Alliance, on any server. You could have a thing where, if you wanted to keep the factions, I can understand that. But you need to have, like, a vendor or something like that that allows you to change your faction whenever you want. You know, it's like the same as, like, it's like Orb of Deception, right? You click on your Orb of Deception. Like, imagine if, like, Blizzard gave everybody a toy in the next patch that was called, like, the improved Orb of Deception. And you click on it, and it has, like, a 5-minute cooldown or something, and it changes your faction and your race. No, why not? Here's the thing is, like, I don't want them to do that. Terrible idea. Why is it bad? Sounds lame. Why? What about racial buffs? Listen, racial buffs are not what's holding you back. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Aren't they working together in the lore? Well, the swap make areas or raids neutral now? No, I mean like there's a really easy way to do it. Like, this is just the first thing that comes to mind. Is the first person or the group leader, whichever one you want to do, decides to set the raid as Horde or Alliance. And people inside of a sanctuary, so like Oribos, Shatrath, Dalran, can invite people of the other faction. And whenever they're in the group, then they can do the dungeon. What about adding a new faction? Well, 3 factions doesn't work for New World. 6 a.m. Yeah, I gotta go to bed soon. I'll see you later, man. Good night. Yeah, it doesn't work for New World. Why the fuck would it work for WoW? Cares about faction at this point? Like, I really didn't want them to get rid of factions. Like, I'll be honest, like, I really, really, really did not want them to get rid of factions. I feel like factions are just, like, so integral to WoW. But it's at the point now where, like, the experience that you have, why not? Well, I feel like there's a certain amount of, identity a game has, and it's like you like having a Mario game that you can't jump in, or having a Sonic game that you can't go fast in. It just feels like this has been such a core feature of not just World of Warcraft, but Warcraft as a whole for like 25 years or something, that to get rid of it, it's really weird. You know what I mean? It's really, really fucking weird. You see what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I don't want this to happen. It's like the last thing I want to happen, but factions in WoW have meant nothing for next 2 years. Well, I don't even care about what they mean. I care about what the effect is. The truth is that the WoW factions right now are, they create so many problems for the game. PvE, they could fight together and do dungeons, fit the lore. Yeah, I think so. And also, like, the truth is that, like, this is what I said before, is that it doesn't matter what the lore is. If the game is bad, then everything else is secondary. Lore, even like in a lot of ways the identity of the game, these are all malleable. If the game is bad, that's really the only thing that matters in a lot of cases. really buy into this, it doesn't matter anymore attitude. People can buy boost, might as well introduce a level boost. Okay, well, buy into this attitude. The experience that people are having on Alliance is bad, and it's getting worse every patch, and it's getting worse every raid tier, because more and more people are going Horde, because that's where more and more people are going. So it doesn't really matter anymore, like what the better faction is or whatever. People are just doing it now out of convenience. Alliance raiding is dead. There's literally no... There's no... That's just not acceptable. So it's like... The thing is with like level boosts or whatever, I can see what you're saying, yeah, but with this, no one's breaking the rules in the game. People are doing exactly what they need to do. Why not just buff ally racials? Because people will stay Horde even if they buff the Alliance racials. It doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah, Alliance racials are already really good. Why did Alliance die? Because Alliance did have inferior racials at the beginning, which caused the initial divergence. You know, it caused it from going to 50-50 from like, you know, 55-45, right? That was like the first step. And that was it. Dwindling number of players, leaving Alliance more than handicap? No, I don't think it actually has anything to do with the player base. I know it might sound weird, but I don't think it does. I think that if you had like way more people, it would still be an issue. TOT and the troll racial? Oh, where they did more damage to beasts? Yeah, I remember that. It's not the racials, it's bandwagon effect. Same with classic WoW. PvE players roll ally, PvP play Horde, yeah. And this is the thing, is that you can't have, like, nowadays people, everybody does the same thing. Like, everybody does, let me think of some examples of this. Like, you know, a new game comes out, everybody plays it. Like metas, yeah, these are just metas, and there's no putting the cat back in the bag, right? This is Pandora's box. At this point, from now on, there's always going to be just metas, right? That's it. Classic's not a good example. Ally is playing Paladin. Well, Classic, I mean, you're right, but like, look at Burning Crusade. Alliance used to have PvPers, Wreckful, Soda, Vanguards. No, the thing is, like, I don't even know if that's even entirely true. Because, like, I remember watching Wreckful play Undead, like his Undead Warrior. I feel like what a lot of the top players did is that they just swapped to whatever was good. That's it. I don't believe that. I'm not. There's not a, yeah, this isn't like an argument. Like, I'm not trying to get you to believe something. I'm telling you what happened. Yeah, this isn't open for debate. Gamers always go with what gives them an advantage, doesn't matter how small. Yeah. I'm gonna do one more zone, and then we'll go ahead and everybody can just trade me all their stuff. I think that'll work. Seems good to me. Top tier guilds like Women and Echo could make people play Alliance if they switch, but they can't switch because they need gear traders. Well, the problem is like, so here's what happens, and this is what happens with PvP. And this was in Warlords of Draenor, the opposite issue was true. There were way more people playing Alliance than Horde. And Alliance were winning every single BG at like 60, 70, like Alterac Valley and like the 40-man BGs. Like Alliance had like a 95% win rate. That's it. And then Blizzard changed the racials, and that's what caused the current imbalance. Yeah, it's the trinket racial. Remember that? Yeah. It was so dumb. Oh, I thought it was great. But anyway, so yeah, so Alliance was just better. And all the top PvPers, like I'm talking about all of the rank 1, multi-rank 1, like cream of the crop, the best fucking PvPers, they swapped because of the racials, because for them it mattered. Because they're playing at a level where everybody is basically, in a lot of ways, on the same level. You know, like you've already, you know, perfected your rotation. You know what add-ons you're using. You know how to do the comps, right? I mean, these are like extremely advanced players. So what's left for them to give them a competitive advantage? Well, it's the racials. Now, if you're 1800, racials are probably not holding you back. I pretty much bet on that. But if you're 2800, maybe racials could help you get to 2850. You see what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, let's see. What was I saying before? Let's rank 1 here, can prove it. What were you saying? Shit, I'm trying to read this guy's. Did you type something in chat? Just go up to the top, guys. Oh, I didn't say anything. Oh, I thought he was trying to make a statement about it. Anyway, so would you agree that high-end PvP is hard in WoW? Yeah, of course it is. Anyway, so a bunch of little advantages add up. Yeah, it's like if you have a 0.5% advantage, that's not a big deal. But if you have 10.5% advantages, then you've got a 5% advantage, which is a big deal. And that's the way it works. Shouldn't have added racials back in the first place in vanilla. No, the problem is not the issue had nothing to do with vanilla. Is that the game was fine back then with the racials because people played games differently then. Like everybody played games completely differently in vanilla WoW than they do now. Like nowadays the way that people play video games is totally fucking different. People are just like way better at video games now. Like just in general they are. And it's not even that it's like, yes, obviously like at the top end they're way better. How so? try and think of a good way to explain this. I could use an original Mario example. Like, I don't know if this would really work. Like, there are some verticals in which this example doesn't really work, but it kind of works. So, back in 1995, how many people who played Super Mario, any of the Super Mario games, were aware of and used the jumps that allowed them to skip levels? Like, what percentage of players? Like, if you had to put a number on it. %, at least. I don't know. Like, I guess it probably might have to do with your age, because like a lot of younger people, like whenever I was a kid, I didn't know any of that shit. They're a Nintendo magazine, right? I'm sure they probably were in Nintendo Power. Yeah, I would assume so. So what I'm saying is that compare that to now, and how many people do you think know about that stuff now? Basically fucking everybody. And that's what I'm really trying to say. Billy, I rejected your friend request once. Why are you sending me a second friend request? Why would you send me two? It's not that I don't. He says what? I can't be friends with you because my friends list is full. It's not that I don't like you. I literally just can't do it. Information is easier to get. Yeah, information's way easier to get. It's like, it's really hard for me to like think of a really good way to explain this. But all I'm saying is that people get from, like, basically the best way to play a video game is figured out so fast now. And because all games are pretty much online in one capacity or another, or at least the discussion and conversation around them is, then almost everybody figures out what that one way is, and then they all do it. Yeah, I mean, that's everybody does it the same way. Everybody plays the same fucking way. Yeah, it's metagaming, and that's the way every game is going to be. So if Blizzard buries their head in the sand and they say, oh, well, we're not going to develop it that way because, you know, we want to have like that old school feel of a game, even though, you know, this is an outdated mechanic, they're not doing anybody any favors with that. What they're really saying is that, you know, we want to live, you know, in fucking 2005. I do too, but that's just not how it works. There's also, like, yeah, there is also, like, general knowledge, right? And, like, player competency. Like, the amount of people, like, games do have, like, a lot of, like, common variables and common elements now. Metagaming is better than wasting 2 weeks figuring out how to beat a boss. Well, I think there's a lot of people that feel that way, right? Like, they don't want to waste their time figuring something out that, like, oftentimes, like, in games, like, let's be honest, like, there are a lot of times in games where there's like an obvious way to do something that's not very well described or explained in the game. I disagree, metagaming is boring. Well, the good thing about it is, like, if you don't want to metagame, unless it's a cooperative game, there's nothing that's making you metagame. You don't have to metagame at all. It's like if you're gonna play Hades, you can play Hades and not look up a single guide, a single build guide, or anything. Like, that's what I did whenever I played the game. I didn't look up any build guide. I didn't do anything. And all I did was say, fuck it, I'm just going to play the goddamn game. And if people want to do that, they can do that. Now, I will say that I think that for people who are playing an online game, like let's say Warcraft, I think that there should be an expectation in terms of, and like, where is this expectation coming from? This expectation comes from the place of respect. You know what I mean? Is that if you're playing an online game and there's a really, really easy way to do something, and you're joining a pickup group, you should be familiar to some degree with what those things are. Like, you should actually try to at least take a minimal amount of effort or initiative to improve your character. But again, it's all about doing what the group of people that you're playing with wants to do. Like, there are plenty of guilds that, you know, they intentionally don't look anything up and don't try to do anything ahead of time, and they just do whatever they want. And like, that's fine. But like, joining a pug you don't know, like, for me, I think that I have probably the most common viewpoint on this, is that I don't expect people to like 99% min-max, but if there's a big enough differential between like what you're doing and what the best thing to do is, if you're in my group, I expect you to do what works. Especially if it's causing problems. Not like, you know, I don't expect you to, you know, play at, you know, 99%, you know, fucking percentiles and, you know, parse like a legend or anything like that. But in general, I will expect people to have, okay, cool. To have a certain degree. Wasting your own time, wasting other people's time. Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? Rep Paladins in Classic, yeah. Like, I don't want to raid with a Rep Paladin in Classic WoW. They're garbage, they're useless, they have no purpose in a raid, and they're just a waste of a slot. That's it. I don't want to deal with it. Alright. Everybody, we're gonna look here. I want everybody to go through all the items that you guys got. If there's any items, listen, we're gonna talk about this real quick. Any of these items here, we're gonna look through two different categories. I want to look through the furniture category, and also we want to look at the resource category. And I want you guys to trade me all of the resources and furniture that you got from the run, okay? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Oh, it looks sick. Yeah, exactly. Surveyor's tool, mercurial token, ancient test. Are these good? How'd you get all these orange items? I only got like 2. Thanks. This is Orvane. Didn't have it. Okay, next. Do you think you don't want to raid with the Retin Classic? You're taking the game too serious? No, I don't. I just... The thing is, like, I don't want to raid with a Fury Warrior who only uses one weapon. And the truth is that a Fury Warrior that only uses one weapon is still going to do more damage than a Ret Paladin. What's the difference? Really, I mean, at that point, what is the difference? It ain't that damn bad. Yes, it is. How many stump stools am I gonna have? Void Essence, thank you. We didn't go anyway, so clearing raid, having suboptimal class makes no difference. It does make a difference because it sets an example that going to a raid and intentionally handicapping yourself is okay. And if I'm playing a serious raid, thank you, with other people that want to wait, that don't want to fucking waste their time, then that's what I want to do. Classic's easy. Why does it matter? Because whenever you invite people into the raid, those people get the same chance at gear, and they make the run faster or slower. That's why. Yeah, it's like it's literally this simple. I don't want to carry the Ret Paladin who thinks it's okay to take gear from our Fury Warriors. That's exactly it. If I've got a Fury Warrior in there pumping 2,000 DPS and a Ret Paladin in there hitting 600, the Ret Paladin is never going to get a piece of gear. So if he's never going to get a piece of gear, why is he in the raid? And that's the way that I do raids. Now, the thing is that I don't think everybody should do raids that way. If people want to do Ret Paladin stuff, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. But if I'm going to do a raid and I want to make a group, that's what I want to do. Yep. That's all there is to it. That logic, just hunters and warlocks get geared in TBC? No, Jimmy, that's not how the game works, man. And it's also like, and that's what I said about like the difference. So like the difference between like a hunter and a warlock and like, let's say a Fury Warrior or, what are some other classes? Actually, well, let me do this first. Most classes in TBC that don't do a huge amount of damage can still bring some degree of utility to the raid. And this is one thing that Burning Crusade actually did very well. Like for example in Classic WoW, if Ret Paladins brought a buff into the raid that made them really, really good, then every raid would have a Ret Paladin. TBC effectively has that one buff that everybody brings. And there are some people that don't like that, some people that do. Personally, I think it's a good thing. Even though it is very heavy-handed. Yeah, bringing a Moonkin or a Ret Paladin because they bring in unique buffs. So, like, it's not really a very good thing to say. DPS isn't mechanic, matters most of the time, so I don't get the obsession with it. Let me explain. So, Wall Panther. There's a lot of ways that I can explain this. How would you feel if somebody in your raiding team never did trash? Like every single time after the boss died, they immediately went AFK, and then they waited until the next mob is there, the next boss is there, and then they ask to be summoned to that boss. Yeah, how would you feel about that? Would you want to keep raiding with that person? Let's see what he says. I wouldn't mind too much. I would. It's disrespectful to everybody else's time. Now, I used to do this all the time. Why did I do this? Because I was a piece of shit. That's why. I was a piece of shit, and I just went, I just, you know, went and did whatever I wanted. If your time's already wasted? No, I don't believe in that. I think that there is definitely a spectrum of wasting time in a video game. And anybody who's played a video game seriously knows that. Like, saying that playing a video game in general is a waste of time is... it's like a fucking boomer take, okay? No, it's not. So all I'm saying is that I just want to get a group of people that are part of the same spectrum. Yeah, exactly. So like if you're in a guild and your guild is okay with, like, for example, my guild, I'll give you like where we were on the spectrum. My guild was on the spectrum where this is in Classic WoW. A lot of people in the guild only really got the Onyxia buff and the Zandalar buff. You know, the two main big 2-hour buffs that are like the easiest ones to get. And a lot of people never got any of the other buffs. They never got Songflower, they never got War Chief's Blessing, they never did any of that stuff, and that's where pretty much where we were. Now, if I went and I joined Progress, or I joined Apes, or any of these other super neckbeard Classic WoW guilds, and I just think to myself, well, you know, I'm just not going to get War Chief's Blessing, I'm the asshole. Because everybody in that guild is trying to push as hard as they can, and whenever I'm the only person who's not doing that, then I'm the one who's wrong. So what I mean is that, like, try to make sure that you join a group of people that have the same mindset on these things that you do. Like, for me, like, that's where I draw the line. And I think, like, I don't really care, like, what people, like, in terms of, like, specs and, like, games, like, I don't really care what spec people play. It doesn't really matter. It just matters, like, how much damage they do. And it's like, if you're doing really, really good damage with a bad spec, whatever, who cares, right? I mean, like, that's what really matters, is the end result. Now, obviously, you could say that, you know, you'd be doing even more if you were doing more, you know, you had different gear, or you had different spec. Like, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna help this guy out. This is a bot, probably. You're welcome. Anyway, so how did the guy even get stuck in the first place? It was probably a bot, and the bot's programmed to run on top of the spawns on a timer. That's why it ran directly on top of the smaller spawn too. I'm not going to report that bot. That bot's going to be how I level up my my other professions. Is he's going to farm resources, and then I'm going to use those resources. There's little cubs in here? I've never seen these before. Damn. The hell is he doing? Damn, I never seen this before. Bots are important? Yeah, bots are helping us out, man. We need bots for that star metal shit, man. That shit's expensive. So how fast do those things respawn? Let me see. There's only 4 of them here. I don't know if it's really good enough to farm this area. Hopefully the new skinning meta will not be killing baby bears. Here's Labot. You'd start the 3 hours anti-WoW sentiment. I was going to watch it. I mean, what do you want me to say? New World doesn't give a fuck about their shit game and they're just letting bots run wild and ruin their game? Like, that's true. Like, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, what do you, like, I just... Yeah, I don't know what you want me to do. These things take too long to respawn. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm obviously just goofing around. Bots are bad. Why did I switch to Mage? The reason I swapped to Mage in New World, there's a number of reasons. So, number 1, Melee sucks. The reason why Melee sucks to play in PvP, or sorry, PvE, is because of body blocking and expeditions. The majority of the time that I do any content that my spec matters in is expeditions. Chest runs, who cares what spec I'm in? Doing elite runs, who cares what spec I'm in? It doesn't matter. The only thing that I really do that matters is, what do you call it? What am I trying to say? The only thing I really do that matters is... Jesus Christ. These guys still can't kill him? He's 47, I'll kill him for you. I'll save you, it's okay. Bro, his health barely even goes down. How's this a level 35?